In this sequence, I'm going to help you relieve your tension in your neck and shoulder area. You need a few aids here. If you have a rolled blanket, or you could use like a foam roller if you have one of those as well. What I want is something to be long, maybe 4 to 6 inches wide, long enough to support your spine. And then a yoga block is needed for this sequence as well. So we'll start laying our spine over the rolled blanket. So we sit our hips on the floor, but then place the spine on the support of the blanket. That way, the shoulders can just sort of spill off to the side. Now, lift and tuck your bum under a little and then set it back down. That way we're not compressing in the low back. And then you can either leave your legs bent or you can crisscross them, whichever is more comfortable for you this morning. And then let's take the arms and reach them up towards the sky. And I want to really reach them up, like you're trying to touch the fingertips to the sky. We're doing some shoulder blade protraction and retraction here. So we reach to the sky, and then on the exhale, leave the arms straight, but let the arm bones sink back into the shoulder sockets, the shoulders sinking down towards the ground. So inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, sink back down. A couple more times. You'll feel this loosening up, the muscles around that thoracic spine and the shoulder blades. On the next inhale, we'll reach up to the sky, and then on the exhale, reach overhead this time. And just begin to wiggle a little bit, reaching with one arm and then the other back and forth a few times. And then we'll let the elbows bend. You can interlace the fingers and just let them rest at the top of your head. Let the elbows just sort of hang down out to the sides. And then unhinge the elbows, the arms come out long. We'll make a few snow angels. So let the fingers just graze along the floor as you slide the arms back down to your sides. So the fingers will still stay touching the floor. On the inhale, we'll sweep the arms around and up overhead. Exhale, the arms return to the sides. A couple more times here, just letting your breath initiate the movement, inhaling the arms overhead. Exhaling the arms back down. Maybe one more time here. And then take a breath. And we'll take hold of the block. We actually want to swap out now the blanket for the block. So I'm going to roll off of my blanket. You might have it handy just in case you want to use it again later for a little support. And then we'll roll back down. And this time we'll place the block underneath the head. So you could have the block at the flattest orientation if you'd like. This is the gentlest version. Just puts a little traction on the back of the neck. Or if you like it to be really juicy like I do, I take the block and I turn it at a diagonal so that I've got the corner of the block is wedged in at the very top of my neck where it attaches to the base of the skull. And then the block is actually then kind of balancing just on one corner on the floor as well. But if you get it wedged in good, you can let go and it actually stays in place. If you feel a little insecure, you could also hold on to it. But just stay here for a breath or two and feel that gentle pull on the back of the neck. And then begin to rotate your head side to side. Very slow. It can be very tiny. We often have ropey, knotty spots along the back of the neck where those muscles have just clenched up. So we just gently roll side to side. See if we can smooth out some of those knots. You might even pause if you find a place that's kind of hard and just stay for a breath and see if that muscle releases. And then finally, just come back to stillness here. And then use one hand to lift your head off of the block, the other hand to scoot the block away so that you don't work those neck muscles we just released. And you can lower the head back down. And let's roll on to our right side. So we'll take a neck stretch here. So if it's comfortable enough, I want you to let your head touch the floor, but if not, pull your blanket in for a little support. So we start with the head in line with the shoulders here, not jutted out in front or chin to chest or anything. Head is in a neutral position, and then from there, just tilt the head down to the floor. Okay, so again, if that's too much, slide the blanket back under you or unfold it and slide it under. That left hand, it rests on the left hip. Now let go of the weight of your head and let go of the muscles in the neck. And then once they feel rather soft, extend that left arm out like you're trying to touch your feet. So you're essentially pulling your shoulder away from your ear, creating a stretch. Now the natural impulse is to clench the neck muscles and lift your head. I want you to resist that. The head stays heavy, the neck stays long. And then you start to play with this left arm. It's always reaching away so that the shoulder is always being pulled away from the ear, but you can bring that arm forward a little and maybe lower the arm down, reach down. That kind of stretches a little different spot along the side of the neck. You might also like to bring that arm a little ways behind you. And again, maybe even lowering it down towards the floor a bit. Take a few breaths here, just playing with that arm placement to get it in that just right spot that gives you the best stretch here. And then on the next exhale, bring that top arm out on top of the bottom arm so we're palm to palm. And we'll take some shoulder circles here. What we'll do here is send the left palm out just a little further than the right palm, so you're slightly tilted forward. And then on an inhale, we'll trace the top half of a circle. Those left fingers just slide along the floor. The gaze follows the left hand. At the top of that inhale, you will have opened out into a twist. So then on the exhale, you simply trace the lower half of that circle, and eventually you return palm to palm. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling, trace the top half of the circle. Open out into that twist, and then exhaling, trace the bottom half of the circle. So we're getting into all the little joints and muscles along the thoracic spine and throughout the shoulder girdle here. 1 more time. And then just pause for a breath here. Then you can roll onto your back and roll over to the other side, or just switch the sides of your mat so that you come to laying on that left side. Got the left arm out in front now. Okay, so the head is in line with the rest of the body, and then we just tilt to let the head rest down. You may have an imbalance, so you may need a little more support on one side than you do the other to start. So the right hand is resting on the hip. We become aware of any tension that we might be holding in the neck and consciously let go of the head. You can feel the support of the mat. And then when you're ready to stretch, extend that right arm like you're reaching for your feet. Oh, this is my tight side, I can tell. Resist the urge to let the neck tense up and the head lift. Head has to stay heavy and long here. And then start to play with that arm placement, reaching either a little behind or a little forward. As long as you are always pulling that shoulder away from the ear, you'll find that just right place to put the arm and hold. And I think I need to hold the arm in like 5 different places here and breathe into them all. And then on the next exhale, let's come palm to palm. And we'll send that right arm forward just a little. Start with that little bit of a shoulder tilt. And then we'll take the circles here. So on an inhale, begin to trace the top half of the circle. Nice and slow, opening up into the twist. The slower you move, the more beneficial this becomes. And on the exhale, you trace that bottom half of the circle. Do that 2 more times, just following the pace of your breath, the pace of your nice, slow breath. Oh, got a few good pops that time. That's always a bonus. All right, last time here. Once you return palm to palm, just take a breath. Then we'll make our way onto the belly. You can actually leave the left arm where it is and just roll onto your belly. You can make a fist with that right hand and let your forehead rest on the fist. This is a nice upper arm and shoulder stretch. And then we'll switch it up. So let's come onto that right elbow. We can slide the left arm out from that side and then extend it out to the left, palm facing down, and then lower down so that the right side of the face is on the mat. We've got the right hand right next to the shoulder, pressing into the floor. We'll bend the right knee and then press in with that right hand. Actually, let's turn the gaze to look over to the right, and then press the hand into the mat. Lift that right knee. You're sort of peeling yourself open. Eventually, you set the foot down with the knee pointing up to the sky. Keep pressing in with that right hand. Oh, that's a really nice, really deep opener for the front of the shoulder. Make sure you keep your breath nice and slow and steady here. And then on the next exhale, we'll release. We come back onto the belly. We'll come up onto both forearms and then trade the sides. So we want to get that outer shoulder stretch first. We'll scoop the right arm across the body, palm is up, and then lower down. You can place your forehead on your fist. And then with the next exhale, we'll release that arm there and instead send it out to the right, palm facing down. We'll lower down so that we're looking to the left. We've got the left hand right next to the shoulder. The left knee bends. Okay, then we'll press in with that left hand, begin to peel the body open over to the right. We place the left foot on the floor behind the right leg, the knee pointing up towards the sky. Keep pressing in with that left hand to get a deeper and deeper shoulder stretch here. On the next exhale, we'll release back onto the belly. We'll come on to both forearms. Press down through the elbows. Rise up through the crown of the head. Pull your sternum bone forward. Maybe slightly lift the gaze if your neck is happy with that. That way we let the front of the neck get a little stretch. And then we'll release onto a tabletop pose so the hands can come in by the ribs. We press up onto hands and knees. And we'll leave the hips stacked directly over the knees today and walk the hands forward as far as they'll go. And then try to lower the forehead on down to the floor. If it doesn't reach the floor, you could always put your block or your rolled blanket there to support it. We want the head supported so that the neck muscles can relax here. And we give the entire upper body a really great stretch. Then with the next exhale, we'll walk the hands back in. You can have a seat. And let's just circle the shoulders forward, up, back, and down a few times, either together or you could do it one at a time, back and forth like a swimming motion. And then just shake the arms out. And then just set the hands on the lap. Notice how you feel. Oh, I feel really good.